again for the late start. I think this is what's... I'm going to see if I can get in earlier, but especially on Mondays, this might kind of become the norm because I have to look after my daughter during the day. So that means I have to get up fairly early from the previous day, but I also have to get up again at like 8. Or not get up, I have to be at class at 8, so I have to get up really around 6 a.m. And so what I think has been something that's kind of been working is just pretty much staying up all night. Which means that I went to sleep probably around 6 p.m. or so. And then sleeping from like 6 p.m. until midnight or so. Like 11:30 or midnight or something, and then getting up, streaming for 4 hours. You know, if we can, we'll see how long that goes till like 3 or 4 a.m. on, I guess it'd be early Tuesday morning. So we'll see. I'm trying to figure out a sleep schedule that works for both kind of my personal life and the stream. We might dodge this or not. Zoe's pretty obnoxious. I can actually play Galileo. I feel like Galileo's really weird.
What the tide will bring.
No, he doesn't. He has virtually no Gangplank experience, but he's playing Gangplank instead of Darius or Varius. Or Varus. Vladimir. ADC is a support main. Gold 2. This person's like okay on Elise. I think we gotta dodge this. It's 2 people, or 3 people on things they don't really know how to play. And, one is just like okay on the champion they're playing. So we can just take a couple minutes there. Well, that may not be the permanent time, so we'll see, Butter. So yeah, I hate starting off with a dodge, but it's just how it is. We could look at that surrender at 20 or keep looking at it, I guess. We looked at it before a little bit on a dodge last time. I don't think they've updated. No, it pretty much gets locked in, I think, like a week beforehand, typically. So Akali's getting Quadra nerfed. So she's probably going to be a lot weaker in solo queue. She might still get played in pro. I don't know about this energy thing. That's something like very specific, but that could be a big deal. I mean, it's basically a 20% increase in cost for her Q. So that could be a really big deal. And then the shroud thing could be a big deal. Now, it doesn't say if she gets CC'd in the shroud that you can see her now. So they did take that off. I still think she'll probably be playable in Pro. Felios doesn't matter, needs more nerfs. Azir, a little bit more base mana is kind of whatever. They keep buffing up his R. It's like, dude, buff up his soldiers. I don't know, that's like what he needs. He needs to come online faster. Special delivery Valkyrie damage. To 50% your bonus AD. So a little bit better scaling. He doesn't get a lot of like heavy bonus stats early. Because he gets Trinity Force and usually Rapid Fire Cannon from what I've seen. I mean, maybe he could get Infinity Edge or something after Trinity, but that's still kind of weird. He has to get Trinity. Then after that, it's kind of up in the air. I think he has to get Trinity. I mean, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he could just go Essence Reaver. I've always wondered why he doesn't get Essence Reaver, but like Essence Reaver into Infinity Edge or something. I don't know. I don't think that's going to bring him back, though. Katarina didn't get a nerf, no. No one's really... No balance team's probably going to nerf her. She has like 0 pro presence, and her win rate in solo queue is... Really, for something to get nerfed that doesn't have like any pro presence at all, or like extremely low pro presence, typically it's got to be like 50, at least 54% win rate. I mean, there are some exceptions to that, obviously, but that seems to be kind of the main deal. I mean, they posted up what the criteria were for considering a nerf back in March of last year. Okay, Ezreal attack speed per level. That's not his problem. Although, to be fair, I don't think Ezreal's quite as bad as people say he is if you're a good Ezreal player, but he could use a little bit more. Galio's going to do more damage in the jungle. We got 50 seconds. Leona, a little bit less damage early on. It's not going to matter. Zenith damage, probably not going to matter. I mean, she does use these multiple times. Like this, usually once in a fight. But Zenith, can we use... Because that gets lowered down to like 6 seconds, I think. That could potentially be used multiple times in a fight. So, like... That does kind of add up. And both of them can hit multiple targets, too, in a team fight. So, you know, it will be a little bit. But I still think she'll have enough to get the job done if she gets a hold of you. Hey, what's up, Kamoy? I'm not gonna play Lux, Carlos. She's not terrible right now, but she's been nerfed a lot.
I must not fall.
Yeah, I've tried Graga's support. I don't think he's in a great spot right now. I won the one game with Blitzcrank that I played. I mean, I've explained Blitz before. Like, he's good against if they have a cast of all squishy champs. Sometimes, if you hit your hooks. Frankly, I didn't do that well that game. We happened to win it, but I don't think I did that well that game that we played in. Hey, what's up, Zach? Thanks for becoming a member, buddy. I appreciate it. There's a chance I could play Lulu with, if I have something like a Twitch or a Jinx or something on my team. I have seen Lulu doing pretty well in my game, so maybe I try her out again. I feel like Lulu's always a trap, like, whenever I try to play her. Although sometimes I do go on, like, pretty good runs with her. It's almost never sustainable, but I have seen her doing fairly well in my games. No, I don't only play Rakan. Lately, I've been playing Rakan. Carlos, I'm trying to be as patient as I can, man. But when you start off your sentence with "oof, plat 4, play this," or plat 4 question mark, when you have a history of in the preseason saying that I should basically just admit I'm a for-fun player who's never going to get out of platinum, when I was like holding diamond for all of preseason, you know, that history kind of adds a little bit of extra context to your comments. But, you know, I'm trying to be as fair and answer them as well as I can. Okay, I'll be back in just 1 second. Let me grab my coffee real quick. We'll be back. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't simultaneously critique me for like a perceived inability to climb, and like critique me for trying to play the champion that has my highest win rate that I've been the most successful with in recent times. But bunch of ninnies. I don't know what that means, sucker, if that's a joke or what. Well, I mean, there is some pressure to hit your hooks, obviously. It's not really like I feel I start sweating or something whenever I'm throwing a hook. It does hurt the mental of your team if you ever miss a hook. And so people, you know, will start getting distracted and start flaming you. Alright, sounds good, dedicated. So, you know, there is that aspect as far as, like, I don't feel any particular pressure, but, like, the team starts feeling a lot of mental stress if you miss a few hooks. I just think, I mean, he's good into certain matchups. He's bad into tanks, which is why I don't play him that much. You know, if you hook their Leona or you hook their Nautilus, it's not that great. Or you hook their Ornn. That's why, like, if I play him, I'll typically pick him as a counter pick. And he's very one-dimensional. Like, you can hook one person, you have one shot to hit him. Versus someone like, and he offers no protection. So if they have assassins, it's also kind of rough. If they have a Zed running at your AD carry, it's hard to do a lot about that as Blitz. And, you know, he can be chain ganked in the lane too, which is very common bot lane right now for people to just, everyone camp bottom. So if they get up behind you, like, you don't really have a lot of options to get out of that except try to fight your way out, which sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. So that's one of the,
I must not fall.
one of my main critiques. However, you know, he is ranged and he does do a ton of damage, which is great when you need a lot of damage, a lot of burst up front. So against something like a Janna, it's particularly good against Janna because you pull her so far out of position and you break her shield with your ult. Not only her, but you pull her teammates so far out of position, it's hard for her to peel. Because her whole thing is like peeling melees off of your ranged AD carry, typically. That's her whole, like, purpose. So it's nice that he pulls them so far out of position, he does so much burst damage, and his ult actually removes the shield first and then applies the damage. So it's specifically designed to counter Janna. And then it's pretty good against things like Soraka and Sona and things like that, but not as good against Leona and Blitz. I think... Carl, if you want to write stuff, man, it's fine. I just want you to try to be positive, dude. That's it. I mean, I'm not gonna, like I said, I've tried to answer it as honestly as I can. But there's always, like, either an upfront antagonism or, like, a backhanded sort of passive aggressiveness to many of your comments. Like, you know, why would you say, like, plat 4 ? Better play Lux, like, she's safe kind of thing. You know, it's like, that's kind of something that could be, like, some honest advice if it wasn't, like, for the history of your comments on the channel. You know what I mean? Like, why not just say, hey, why don't you play Lux? She's pretty good right now. Like, you could just say that without mentioning rank or safety. Or even safety. But without mentioning rank. But the implication there is, like, you know, I could be reading into it too much, but I think given the history of the comments, not so much. So sorry if I'm reading into that too much, man. It's just, like I said, just kind of the history of your commentary on the channel. The thing in the bottom left, I don't have it there right now. I'll pull it up in a little bit.
We are seen dancing and thought insane by those who can't hear the music.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. "30 seconds until minions spawn."
I am definitely more confident in dangerous situations. They ain't ready for what I'm bringing.
Minions have spawned.
I think one thing, actually, I might be warding like a little too much early on, especially before I get Moby Boots. Because I'm losing experience, and they will typically hit 6 first. Off of me getting an early dragon, or just like getting really deep vision in the enemy jungle. Losing out on a little experience. So I think that's one thing that I might actually be like warding too much early on in the game, like too deep. I mean, it depends. I think Yumi's okay. Like, early on, you know, she's got some problems. But I think that she still scales pretty well. Varus is pretty good against Rakan, which is kind of annoying, but... I guess I could have done Nami or something like that. Would have been okay. Still scared of Malphite. I don't even know why I bother to try to trade in plat.
Boom. Headshot.
First blood.
It's a revolution. And it's good times.
Okay, well, Yumi's basically owned. Okay, we need to try to push. So we get priority and maybe
Headshot.
get Scuttle.
Got to stop talking.
Okay. He's got it, uncontested.
Where are you? Magic isn't supposed to be safe.
Yeah, the lockout thing is a really bad way to deal with the problem. Like, you just need to make her attachment temporary. Like, no lockout, but it's temporary. So, like, she can only attach for, like, when she attaches, it's for, like, 5 seconds or something. So, like, basically, she's a human shield when she attaches. Like, that's what it should be. Something along those lines. She's a human shield that can do stuff to empower when she attaches. Maybe she gets her personal shield more often when she autos to help protect her a little bit more. And then whenever she attaches, she heals herself and her ally. So that way when she pops back off, then she's healed a little bit more. And she still heals them. Boom, problem solved. So she can attach at specific moments to empower her AD carry. Increase the attack speed like they were, you know, give the stats with the W. Maybe W can give some more temporary stats or something like that. And then she can use her heal to heal herself and her ally. I might sit here.
An ally has been slain.
They will see my dance. Then they will know its joy and its fury.
What's up, Clean Lee? Yeah, so I think it should, like, attach
Is my cloak right? Yes, it is.
for 5 seconds or whatever, and it should have a cooldown on it, and the cooldown should scale with how many points you put in W, something like that.
I totally forgot why I'm here.
Are we not gonna do this? It's a freaking waste. I'm losing too much experience. We have it perfect vision, bro. We had priority mid lane. Now we've lost it bot. They're gonna, Yumi's gonna go ward it probably. Freaking waste. Yes, you push. Yeah, you push the freaking wave so we can get dragon, and so I can roam, you clown. God bless. I'm trying to be positive.
I'm getting impatient.
Killing spree.
Yeah, they got it warded now. We can't, dude. It's warded because you didn't do it fast enough.
They will
30 seconds ago, and Yumi put a ward in it. Caitlin's like, let me freeze it when we're trying to get dragon pressure and when we need to rotate to go help Akali on her invade. On pro guides, they said I should freeze the lane. I mean, hey, what's up, Exalted? I can put up the stat chart thing. Sorry, guys. This is the first game of the day. I didn't put it up. Also, not really proud that a couple of days ago I got demoted into Platinum 4, so I was trying to get back up to at least Platinum 3 before I put that thing back up, but here, back up. Your support's leaving the lane. Just go get Gromp or something, man.
Our people are bleeding. My lady's gonna live.
Like, they're gonna push. Everyone pushes in this elo, man. Like, you're seriously, if you just back up as the 80 carry and there's elo, I will guarantee you, if you're platinum or lower, people are just going to auto push and you're not going to lose that much CS.
Boom.
So if your support's roaming or getting wards or something, like, just chill at the tower, or she could have gone to go do Gromp. I don't know. People just don't think outside the box enough. It's like, our jungler was topside fighting. Like, he still hasn't gotten to Gromp in like the last 3 minutes. So as an ADC, you just go up there and take his Gromp. It's fine. It probably would respawn by the time he gets down there anyways. Like, just do something efficient with your time. Ideally, you're synced up with your support. See, now we're off sides though. She really wants to freeze, but we've got to help Zen.
There's wildness in the bees and
Oh, I got Varus ulted. Right. Yeah. I was like, why can't I move ever? But Varus ult and Yumi ult. Okay. I tried to W out immediately, but Varus hit me from Fog of War with his thing. I guess I shouldn't even looked. I thought maybe like it'd just be Graves or something and I could just W away.
I'm offended by how little attention.
Boom. Headshot.
At least she's staying up in CS. I'll give her that. We're definitely playing around Akali. I mean, he doesn't have his ult. Like, we should punish. Okay. Okay, Graves is middle. Their ults should be down.
I dig seeing it.
Oh, he could have kept going. I could have chased that. At least we got a couple of kills, I guess. 2 kills for a dragon. I think the 2 kills are actually better unless you end up getting soul after the nerfs to dragon. So I'm gonna try to just get this lane down. Kind of wish I'd taken Demolish more, but usually if we get priority in the lane, I go do something else other than try to take a plate. We don't know where Graves is.
An enemy has been slain.
Graves got Executioners? I guess against Mord? I don't know, it seems a little weird.
Killing spree.
I mean, wording is difficult for you, me. Basically, you have to have your teammates come help you, pretty much. Actually, I'll hold on to
I've
that.
been
It's
kicked
fine.
around since
I still
I
have
was born.
one control ward.
It's
I was gonna
alright.
sell it and get another
It's
control ward,
okay.
but
I'm
one's probably
staying
fine here.
alive. Gotta get myself hyped. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2. Woo! All right. Don't want to miss the start of the party.
No, wait. Damn it, dude.
Zaya, hey. Where is she?
Alright, so we'll push and then probably just go rotate for Rift. Graves is also top. I've thought about going for more of a speed build. I saw like one high level recon doing that.
Ecstasy.
An ally has been slain.
Where it's like celerity and water walking as secondaries. Recon's so much fun. I think part of it is because there's so many different builds that are viable in different situations. Like almost, you can in theory craft him forever.
I don't need anything but the
She maybe could have had that on her own, but I just want to make sure. I want to protect her. Not only do I want to get her more kills, but I don't want them to get her shut down. Come here! No! I was trying to click over here on the bottom right, and I clicked on the mini-map, and it ran me back the other way. I should have just let the Caitlyn die there. Alright, I think we might actually have to get him at Kale's here. That Varus ult is obnoxious.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
I do get assists, yeah, so I mean that does give a lot of money. It's not like it was a totally wasted effort. But I did not have my... Well, we probably couldn't have turned around that one fight anyways that I just got to be a part of. I think that was correct, to rotate top. Now, we do need to get this, though, before... yeah, get this first, and then... I still like W so much more than anything else. Just the mobility around the map just matters so much. Especially when you go around walls.
I don't want a world that's
It's just huge.
safe.
I could get ulted out of that bush. We gotta try to root him out.
Humans think that to believe in something you have to be serious. That's their problem.
So Kali's coming up. Yeah, just force them out of position. They're trying to push us middle. And I think we should be able to get this. Well, the Malphite ult, we gotta be careful with that.
Shut down. Triple kill.
Oh, he missed it. Damn. Well, I tried to delay. I'm not sure. I tried to delay the.
That's me?
Enemy rampage.
Going 3. Did we get the dragon at least? No. How did we lose it? I got Malphite ulted or something? Hey, please. Yeah, I should have just let her go instead of even trying that.
Humans claim it is theirs. They fence us away, cover it in refuse.
Okay, so Varus used his heal last fight.
That's why.
Probably might have assassinitis, we'll see. Holly's 11-3 and like actually can't do anything in the mid game. Vlad gets Banshee's Veil and it's like, well, I guess the game's over.
They will see me. They will see my dance.
Basically, Malphite. I mean, Malphite hasn't even had to ult her. He just ulted random people. Caitlyn, it's okay to auto attack, man. You have 650 fucking range. Like, what? I need to just, I don't know, man. I've done it on support. Sometimes I just feel like I need to just play AD carry. But like, I've obviously got to Diamond 3 playing support. It's not like it's impossible. It's just, I don't know. I've got to just be thinking about something wrong, because there's no way that my AD carry is like always this actual bad compared to everybody else. I'm just like overemphasizing the mistakes AD carry makes compared to it's got to be something. Like, there's no way it can factually be true.
Your turret has been destroyed.
They want to change it. you refuse.
A summoner has disconnected.
I don't know. Like the Akali was like 8-0, just dominating everybody. Like what happened? The Vlad just got like 3. I think it was that fight around Dragon where Vlad got 3 kills, and that was pretty much it.
Your inhibitor has been
Vlad's just
destroyed.
way stronger than Akali is, and a lot of the time, anyways. If he gets similar gold in the mid to late game. I mean, maybe it's got to be this guy's just like messing up the Akali, but he was like 8-0 at the start. And I guess some people are just really good at laning and just not like that great outside of laning. But yeah, I'd have to go back and watch that dragon fight. I feel like I was trying to zone the Malphite, and Caitlyn just doesn't put down traps, doesn't auto. I'm gonna get run down by Yumi.
Enemy killing spree. You have been slain.
I mean, the jungle's not even doing that poorly, man. I don't know. I mean, Zen does fall off later. I think it was that fight, though. Like, they got the dragon off of us. Like, nobody... I don't know. I have to go back and just look at that fight.
Your inhibitor has been destroyed.
There's a trap, I guess. I don't know. Caitlyn must be the hardest champion in the game to play. I don't know. It seems like it. It's like Yasuo, Azir, Riven. Nah, it's Caitlyn. Zen did AFK, but to be fair, the game was done. I kind of don't blame him for AFKing at the end. Like, we weren't coming back. The Akali was worthless, and all of our money was in the Akali, unfortunately. I don't know. I'm gonna have to... I want to see that one fight. I feel like that's where it all went wrong. I mean, maybe my priorities were just wrong in that fight. I feel like I have to start the fight and try to zone before the Malphite ults. It was really the Malphite was the person that pulled him through the mid game. I am pretty sure the Malphite ulted. It definitely killed a Caitlyn, and I think he killed one other person. Akali was like chasing someone all the way down to bot lane or something. I'm not really sure like what happened. We needed the Mord to step up, ult the Malphite, so that Malphite couldn't ult us, and then I engage and like kill the... I think I went after their Varus. I don't know. I've got to see it because that was such a jumbled, confused fight, and I feel like a lot of people were not doing what they should have done. And I could have been one of those people. I don't know. But we should have been able to win that fight. I'm pretty sure. I'm looking it up over here. Okay, I think this is it. Okay. So Yumi was very effective outside of the laning phase. It's just the laning phase a little rough. And she didn't even do that poorly in the laning phase. Caitlyn basically gave him a free lane. Can I slow this down a little bit? Now, let me slow this down. Okay, so Dragon's like super low. Okay, I hit the Malphite, and then I go for the Graves. Mordekaiser pulls Graves out of my ult. Or no, Mordekaiser ults the Graves that I was just trying to ult. I did hit the Malphite. Okay, so I go to the Akali. Akali, okay. Wait, what? I'm like watching this in like super slow motion. I'm still have a hard time following this. Okay, so we're about to fight. I guess I should have gone for the Graves. I was trying to zone the Malphite, but I guess maybe I should have zoned the Graves first. So I hit the Malphite so that I'm hoping that Mordekaiser will get him. Mordekaiser grabs the Varus. Varus ults me. Okay. I jump over to Akali. The Malphite on the Yuumi makes Malphite basically impossible to kill. They gang up, kill two of us there. Akali and Mordekaiser are still chasing Varus to the other side of the universe. I don't think Graves juked me. I'm pretty sure Malphite, Mordekaiser literally pulled him out. Like, you see the red hand, I think, because Graves used his dash to get in close to dragon range. I think, right? Yeah, he just used his dash right there to get into dragon range. I hit the Malphite. You can't see the particle on the replay here. Yeah, you kind of can, but you see, like, Mordekaiser pulled him out of my W. And then ults him, so that no one can kill him. And then the Vlad just came in hot. We needed to peel and go after and try to save the Caitlyn. The Malphite was just so hard to kill at that point. But like Mordekaiser 100% needed to ult the Malphite there to stop the Malphite. Because that, you may not be able to kill the Malphite. You might. But at least you're shutting him up for 8 seconds. So the rest of us can operate. Because that's the real threat. It's like Malphite can just delete Caitlyn. And, you know, she's not going to have the reaction speed probably to net out of his ult. You can do it. I mean, it's pretty obvious if Malphite's, like, getting kind of close to you that he's about to ult. But, like, most Caitlyn's are not going to flash or net out of it. Yeah, Mordekaiser could have also ulted the Graves before the Graves could smite. Now, I could have gone in and ulted the Graves too. But I'm afraid if I don't ult Malphite, then he's going to blow me up also. I mean, I think with smart mords, it's fine. I don't think that's, like, a bad thing. Usually Mord, like, typically they will try to grab one of the squishy champs. So, like, if you engage to blow somebody up and your team does a lot of damage, sometimes Mord will grab them to kill him. Yeah, Caitlyn can definitely net over that river wall, but you don't even have to do anything that fancy. It's just like Malphite's coming for you. Like, he's looking at you. You just net backwards and stay out of his range and force him to net somebody else. Or force him to ult somebody else other than you. Really, you need, like, tanks on your team to deal with Malphite. I don't know if Zen's ult is fast enough. No, because when Malphite comes in, then he's in melee, and he would still knock up the Zen. I was thinking, like, Zen could prevent his damage from range, but he closes to melee and then knocks up. Favorite ADC champion to play with? Probably Draven. Because Draven's aggressive, usually, in the early game. That's all I want. I just want people, like, I just don't want to be, like, 600 units in front of the 80 carry in the wave. I think Akali is somewhat to blame. I mean, not totally. I mean, I messed up stuff that fight too, but I'm always like, whoever has a lot of the gold, it's on you. You know, you're the chosen one. You're supposed to be making the good decisions and the big plays. And there were several times where she got caught out and died. I mean, that fight, I think, was the major turning point. But it was hard to cut through the... I mean, they just had a good comp, too, for the mid to late game, and we just didn't apply enough pressure. Like, the Yuumi, with Yuumi's ult, Malphite's ult, and Varus' ult, it's going to be really hard to win fights, because the only team fight ult that we had was mine, I think. So, we probably needed Akali, like... We needed to pick people off. So we needed, like, little 1v1 and 2v2s. Occasionally, I'd say I get more aggressive Dravens than anything else. I mean... That's my sense of it. God, my stats have gone down so much as Recon, though. I was like 60% for the first like 100-something games. Now it's just in the gutter. Jesus. Can I just not press update and just rewind to this? The glory days of like 5 days ago. I did hear a story on Mobalytics that was interesting. One of the challenger guys was like giving out some tips. It was actually pretty good. Pretty good tips for the most part. And wait, why is it not loading up? Well, whatever, we'll see. One of his things, he said that like he went on a 23 game loss streak before, and he lost like the equivalent of 800 LP over like 2 days. We've only lost, well, we were in Platinum 2. I mean, Platinum 2, I don't know if we got to promos for Platinum 1 or not, like last week, or maybe a week and a half ago at this point. Down to like Platinum 30 LP or something. Platinum 430 LP. So that's like 300 LP, something like that. Trying to see what my highest win rate AD carry is, because sometimes it's not what you think. God, Malphite, man. Was this guy on our team, or was this the Vlad on the enemy team last game? I don't know. Oh, Jungle Trundle. I mean, okay, that does help against Malphite. They do actually have a tank.
Let's
But
dance.
Trundle is like okay against Malphite. Sort of. Like, the pillar doesn't do a lot. What we're against, like, Swain or something? Well, the thing is, I mentioned this yesterday, like, the trajectory of the season is, like, almost always the same narrative for the last 3 years. It's, like, start off, rough in placements, kind of rough at the beginning, catch our footing, climb up a lot, like, 4 divisions, and then run into, like, some murkiness again, where it, like, gets hard again. I think it's, someone mentioned this yesterday, I think it's a lot of people just waited like 2 or 3 weeks to play ranked because they thought that all the like the clowns would be done ranking, and then they didn't realize they were the clowns also sometimes. And so you get kind of the second wave of people that, not necessarily clowns, but people that just are really rusty, who come in. But I mean, regardless, that like whatever's happening, like as far as like newer people playing or meta shifts or whatever, like it should be symmetrical on both sides. Like they should have rusty people on their team too. You know, they should have whatever I'm having on my team, they should have on their teams. It's random teams. So over time that should match up. So you can have some rough games, but like rough streaks means that there, you know, there's something that you need to be doing to win that you're not doing. So I just got to keep figuring out sort of what that
It's
is.
a revolution.
I don't know. I rotated and tried to play around the Akali. Maybe we just don't even take that team fight and try to pressure. Just don't even try to fight them in fives and try to pressure mid lane and just get a pick on them off a dragon. I mean, I could have gone for the Graves instead of the Malphite. Maybe I should have built a tankier item and I should have tried to be the primary engage. It's really hard when they have AP. Like, AP is so hard to itemize against, AP damage. It's like most of the AP items suck. I mean, maybe I should have gone for something like a Banshee's Veil against Malphite early on.
Live the moment.
Alright, I'm just going to put it there.
Let's see what's
I was going to put it on their wolves, but... I don't think so. I don't think it cares about, like, putting streaks with streaks. Like, all it cares about is your 4-digit number. Like, that's literally it. It's not really that sophisticated. Whatever your hidden MMR is, it just finds people that have a similar MMR within, like, 15 points or something, and just puts you in those games. Like, I think that's basically it. I don't think it cares about loss streaks or win streaks. Like, that stuff affects what that 4-digit number is, sort of. I don't know by how much, but I'm pretty sure it does. But it doesn't specifically put you with different people on streaks. So there could be people on streaks that are in it, but it could also just be people that are just climbing normally. Like, you could run into somebody, you could get somebody on your team who's like, just made a Smurf account and is, you know, 80% win rate, making their way through low plat or gold or whatever it is. He's not close enough. Like, I could have W'd onto one of them, but I couldn't E back out onto him. I mean, I don't think it's like a, like, an opinion. I think that's a fact. Like, how would it try to balance that? It's like, well, this person's on a 5-game loss streak. So let's see if we can put him with someone else who's on, like, a 6-game loss streak. Like, it doesn't care how you got your number. It just cares, like, what the number is. There's a coincidence though. I mean, like, there's almost always people that are, like, having a bad time. I mean, this is a, you know, a tough time of the year for a lot of people because you have to readjust. And I'm, like, bad at doing that. When I start falling, like, my problem is I still play as though I've got, like, diamond people on my team. And I expect them to do certain things and know certain things, and a lot of times they just don't, and I don't do a good job of adjusting for that.
I'm getting impatient.
A lot of times, I think, historically, that's a thing. I mean, I make mistakes too. I'm not saying, like, oh, I'm way better than everybody, I need to go on my level. It's like, but it's like, it is a mistake in and of itself to expect too much, and clearly I do expect too much at times. Regardless of whether or not that's justified, that's just not what people are capable of doing. Like at this ELO bracket, so, you know. Like, Caitlyn can't comprehend why we should push the wave so that I can go help the Akali in the jungle last time. She's not even, probably didn't even notice that Akali was in the jungle and needed some help from a rotation. Or at least would have benefited from help. Or that, like, the Zen didn't realize that we had priority mid and bot had just backed, and there's no way that their support had a ward on dragon yet because they hadn't had a back, and so we could have taken that first dragon for free, but he wanted to get blue instead. You know, if it was a diamond game, 100% would have gotten dragon. So I just need to adjust. Hey, thanks, A-Ray. Or RJ, sorry. Glanced at that a little fast. had to flash to get their flash. Sucks, but...
They're scared of darkness. They're scared of magic. They are scared of where I am.
Be nice if Trundle reganked. We'll see if he does after Trundle. This is a place where you can freeze. Where someone squishy on their team doesn't have... Doesn't have flash. We need to push this. Well... He flashed, dude. He flashed, dude. Yeah, he flashed. Jin doesn't have any mana. Like, you need to stop after he flashes. What's up, Forge?
I feel like my allies aren't recognizing how amazing my cloak is. I mean,
Well,
serious.
that's bad.
Rude.
Thanks, cleanly. Hopefully we can give you some games. Give you some wins, rather. We'll definitely give you some games, one way or another, but... Hope tomorrow's day at work is a little better for you. I mean, I understand, like, Jolty, I get that, man, but I'm trying not to get sucked into the negative. Like, the bottom line is, regardless of whatever, like, you should always be able to climb. Like, if you're playing better than people around you, you can climb. Like, you never hear about Faker getting stuck, you know, in gold, right? Like, regardless of whatever your team's doing, like, it's gonna be mirrored on the enemy team. It's gonna be symmetrical over time. Like, yeah, Trundle screwed up there, but, like, the Rumble's doing really well, so we should be able to win around the Rumble.
There's wildness in the bees and the flowers. It's just a fury humans don't see. I'm gonna show people some of the strange.
So, like, you're right, he did screw up right there, but, you know, I could have pinged him back a little bit more. I mean, there's something I could have done. I could have certainly not died. I could have said, well, he's gonna keep going after Rengar flashed, he's gonna die, that's it. I'm backing up. I knew Jin didn't have any mana. I was just trying to get him out of there, but that was a mistake. I should have just let him die. I mean, that's one thing I definitely could have done right there. You're just gonna have to win with people underperforming on your team. That's just the fact of life in solo queue. It's like, odds are 2 or 3 people. If every other lane is a coin flip, you're gonna have at least 2 people, you know, on your team that underperform the other team. Dude, I don't want to do that, bro.
Our kind will see the truth soon enough.
So I see what you're saying. I definitely feel you. It does feel that way sometimes, but you got to try to not have, like, you know, what people will call, like, a victim mentality sometimes. And I know I'm not perfect about this. Like, you know, I get frustrated too. I'm like, team please, you know. my fair share, but you gotta always try to circle back and say, all right, you know, team did some stuff, but what, you know, what could I have done potentially to change that? And, you know, sometimes the answer's nothing. Sometimes you just lose the game. But, you know, there's almost always something you could do. I feel like every time you die, like, maybe not every time, but like 90% of the time that you die, it's a mistake. On, like, maybe certain champions you die more, you know, if you're playing like Alistar, like a really hard engage with no escapes, like, you know, maybe you die sometimes. But like, I think on a lot of champions, people can severely limit their deaths while still being proactive. Did you do a coaching for a Nami? I mean, I have. I can't keep track. We've had a lot of coaching over the last couple of weeks, which is really good. I thought we did the Nami game. Send it to, if I didn't get to it, send it to me again, and we'll look at it and I can see. I'll tell you if we did that one or not. Oh, shut down immediately.
They will see my dance. Then I know.
Staying focused is hard. I mean, like, being as interactive with the stream as I am does take some energy and focus for sure, but, you know, I should at least be able to get to where I was. Like, I know I'm giving up some stuff, but honestly, I don't do that much better off stream, to be fair. But I should at least be able to get back to diamond. Like, my skills should not have deteriorated that quickly to like an, you know, an unsurmountable level. Oh, hey, what's up, Ralufe? Yeah, it's you probably just got recommended. I'm not really sure. Like, what? Sometimes, you know, YouTube just recommends it. I think I'm one of the larger just gaming people that streams at this time of night, because it's such an odd time of night, at least in the United States. So, and it's trying to push the live streaming gaming a little bit more, because it's a really lucrative space. So, I think I've just been getting recommended on other stuff. I know I'm probably playing a lot worse than I think I am when I'm on loss streaks, though, because I do get very distracted mentally if I start losing a lot of games. I mean, there's a reason that, like, the streaks happen, and it, you know, it could be some grand conspiracy, like Jolty's suggesting, but it could also be just that you're just not thinking clearly. I think it's okay. I think it needs to be more okay in our culture to be, like, not thinking clearly sometimes. Like, you're not a bad person, you're not a dumb person, you know, if you're stressed out about stuff or you're depressed or, you know, whatever, you know, you're just not thinking the way that other people think you should be thinking. I think it's like okay to reflect on that and just say, you know what, it's not. It's like it's okay sometimes to be tilted out. You should try not to be, but we're all imperfect. You know, we all make mistakes. Ideally, if you're not a streamer, you know, you should like stop playing at a certain point. Well, yeah, I didn't know she was gonna burn out for that last tick. A miscalculation, but it's probably fine. So, I don't know. But at the same time, I don't like to be told that I'm tilted. I'm gonna play through it, damn it. I mean, that's just how I am. Sometimes if I'm tilted, you just gotta let me just play through it at times. I'm trying to get a, I'm trying to get that Smurf, like I said, so I can, you know, just go play on that. But hey, Rolf. I still do Total War. Yeah, you can come check it out sometime. Yeah, I am doing a Bretonia campaign right now. I do have some High Elf recorded that I'm about to do with Aletha Nar. And then,
What humans call magic, we call life.
I'm probably doing Vampire Coast after that. I think I've got someone who is interested in donating for a Vampire Coast campaign. I know I haven't been as, I've been pretty consistent this week, I think. I know there have been a couple of days over the last few weeks where I didn't post. I did go on like a 2-week hiatus with it. I was a little frustrated with the Dark Elf campaign, and then I got kind of, when Witcher came out, I got kind of hooked on watching that series and playing through Witcher 3, kind of with my non-league time, gaming time, but I should be rotating up there. I should have rotated up there instead of closing out middle. That could be a pretty big mistake. But lately I have been back on the wagon, being a lot more consistent with it, I think. Which Legendary Lord's better for Wood Elves? Dirt 2, like, not even close. Orion's terrible. I think. Dirthu is one of the best Legendary Lords in the game.
I'm offended by how little attention I'm getting.
Like, he's a huge tank with great spell casting and, like, pretty good, like, faction-wide abilities. And that's really what you need early on, are, like, the tank champions. Because, like, your archers are obviously really awesome, but, like, your spearmen are pretty trash, very low HP, especially on, with Steel Faith. You know, they've got, like, 7,500 HP or something. Like, Orc Boys have, like, 15,000. They have, like, half the HP of most other, like, units. They have really nice melee attack and defense, but they're pretty bad. So, and most of the elves are bad. Like, the melee elves are bad compared to the tree spirits. So, you really want to go for, like, the treekin. Treekin are huge early on. You just go treekin and, like, elite archers, and that's basically, like, your... And, like, eventually dragons when you get to that. And that's, like, your ultimate Wood Elf army. So, he's a lot better at that. I've tried Orion, man. I mean, he's borderline unplayable. Like, you can play him, but, like, he's really bad.
Has been slain.
It's all filthy and dangerous. And that's why I love it.
Yeah, the Dark Shards are great for the elves. I think Shades eventually become better, but Shades are very expensive. Yeah, Dark Shards are awesome. That armor piercing is just like,
This looks like another
pretty OP
dangerous situation.
early on. Just like straight all armor piercing. Especially the Dark Shards with shields. It's like, what do you, I mean, it's hard to beat them in a firefight early on. That's such a terrible, like, control word placement. Jump scare.
Look right. Time to show it.
Well, they should get the dragon anyways. Really, bro? You think you're just gonna stay here, huh? Oh god, with the Malphite. Okay, was not expecting Malphite to rotate. Like, usually you wouldn't want to chase that far, but it wasn't that bad because we had to mark the Yasuo anyways.
I'm G to the D. Golden diamond, boy. Woo!
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Dark Shards are awesome against Lizardmen, for sure. I'm gonna see. That's one thing I noticed a lot of pros doing is they'll hide like just out of vision a lot more than I do with Rakan. I do that some, but because you can E in so easily, so he's like one of the best people at baiting fights. I need wards. I need wards, boys. Just back up, back up, back up.
Look good. I feel good. Kick some ass.
Alright, Sammy. Good luck, buddy. Huh.
They want us in cages.
Hey, what's up, Mohammed?
Should I run? Yeah, I should probably be running.
I didn't even see him get out of that. Wow. Okay, I got... Dude. Wow, you really want to do that, Rumble? Oh, he's doing it. Okay. That seemed really bad. I have no idea. Because Rengar was there, right? I knocked the shield off of him. So he, like, ran out, just let all of his teammates die here, and then just ran, like, beeline towards the back line. I did not see that coming. I lost track of him, though.
Humans think that to believe in something you have to be.
I'm not even sure if there's anything I could have done about that, though. I was kind of out of cooldowns. Shades can be kind of weak to range units, but they have,
Everyone is watching.
they typically have more range, and they do, like, a lot more damage. And they're better against cavalry. No, we can't do it, guys. There's a freaking thing right there.
Ain't nothing I say should be taken why it's the truth.
I think we're about to get Malphite ulted in this pit. No, boys, get out. I don't have ult either. I'm trying to zone the Malphite if I can.
Without wild magic, we have no children, we have no future.
That could have been fatal if Malphite ulted that. Why is did Malphite just not have his ult? Did he ult the wave or something? Like, why hasn't he ulted anybody? I'd be throwing down some, at least in my mind, I'd be throwing down some question mark things on that Malphite.
Supposed to be scary. Love is supposed to hurt. Ecstasy.
We lost all priority. I think they're going to be on this dragon. Yeah. Oh, there we go. That's the money. Wait, what? We're not. There's no way we lose this, right? They got it like 100%, and I'm not really doing any damage to it, so I'm just gonna put some wards down. Can't believe Rengar greeted. Like that. Jumped out like, they see me standing right there. Rengar jumps onto the blue like in a melee combat with me. It's like, dude, you cannot do that. What's up, Ezreal? Currently it's Platinum 4. New to the channel, in the preseason I got as high as Diamond 3. In the normal season I think we got as high as Plat 2. We had a really bad week. Really bad week. So we're trying to recover here. I went from like probably like 53 or 54% account wide and like Rakan being 60%. To like, I think like 47% account total in like a week. So we probably won like 30% this week. It's pretty rough, but we're trying to get back in there. Okay, so we just need to be patient here. I could like Shirelius and try to run it and do something crazy, but we don't really need to. Yeah, we gotta watch out for this Malphite flank over here. I don't win all those chances much, man. I think I don't know. They're very risky. Like, they are very good, but I think they're also really risky. Like, they're great if you're really far ahead and your team's like on point, you have like good engagements and stuff like that, but like that was kind of the meta for the entire like back half of last year, and I just didn't really get anywhere. I was just like spinning my tires in the mud for the entire like back half of the split. Hey, thanks, Mohammed. I appreciate it. Yeah, I should have at least one episode coming out every day, and I might start doing the High Elves this week too, so we can have two campaigns going at once. Yeah, Leona's super risky, man. If you go in, she has no escape. Leona does not have a reverse gear. She doesn't know what that pedal is. Like, if you're ahead, she can definitely pressure zone and punish. Yeah, I mean, she's good, but she, like, if you get camped, like, it's a big problem. Like, if you're ahead, you know, obviously, if you have, like, a Misfortune on your, like, Misfortune ADC who knows what's going on, and you play Leona, and you get, like, 1 or 2 kills, yeah, she's awesome. You know, no one's going to beat you 2v2. But if you get, like, hard camped, if your AD carry just perma pushes, which is what always happens in Platinum, and you get, like, camped and ganked, and they get a couple of kills on you, then you just don't do a lot. Leona's getting nerfed next patch. Now, I don't think it's gonna, like, do a ton to hurt her, but, I mean, it is gonna do some damage. So, I mean, she's strong, but she's, like, overhyped in every video, basically. I mean, now, pro games are different than solo queue, but let me just see. Maybe the stats are different, but last time I looked, she's like probably one of the most overrepresented champs. Okay, so season 10. Leona, 41% win rate in pro. Rakan, 70% win rate in pro. Nautilus, 47% win rate in pro. So, obviously, that's pro. It's not solo queue. To be fair. She is sitting at 53. I mean, it's good. For sure. But, I mean, it's not like Rakan's off, like, you know, like 44%. Like, he's 51%. And I think that Rakan is a lot harder to play in general. So, I think that a lot of people who try to play Rakan are not, like, it's harder to be good on Rakan than it is to be good on Leona, I think. I mean, maybe I'm off. But Rakan is, like, you can get, like, they're both kind of risky in their own way. Like, Leona, positionally, is really risky. You know, if you engage and your team doesn't follow up, or if your team's really far behind, it can be tough. But she is very tanky, so she's very difficult to kill, and it's hard to mess her up if you just make appropriate engages. Rakan, on the other hand, is like really mobile. He's very resistant to ganks. Great mobility, great warding, great rotations, all that stuff. But if they get a hold of you, if they CC you, then you're going to get blown up most of the time. So they're both risky kind of in different ways. But I think Rakan's is easier to work around your team. Like, it requires less team coordination because typically you can get out, and he does scale better, a little bit better over time too, because he has a shield. I don't think so. I played Sona mostly last season. Rakan was my most played last season too. There are like different stages where I play different champs. Like during the preseason, I played a ton of Sona, or not Sona, Soraka. I'm not saying Leona's a bad champion. I just don't think the gap between Leona and Rakan is as wide as most people. Like, Rakan somehow is the greatest support secret in League of Legends right now. Like, no tier lists, no commentary about pro, like, nothing talks about him. And he's got 70% win rate in pro. Compared to, like, almost every other support's under 50%. Now, I do ban Leona because she is good against Rakan. And she, like, she's dicey. Like, the thing is, like, her highs are higher than Rakan probably. You can completely, like, crush the game if you get ahead. probably a little faster and a little better than Rakan, but I think her lows are a lot lower. I think it's harder to get back into the game when you fall behind. Last season, I played Rakan the most, then Nami, then Zyra, then Sona. Now, Sona did have my highest win rate, and people near the end of the season were like, why don't you play Sona a lot more? It's like, well, because she got like 6 nerfs or something like that. Because of, partially because of the Sona Taric bot lane that was popular in Pro, but she got nerfed before that too. Like, she was nerfed a lot last season. So that was when I was playing her like pre-nerf a lot and winning a lot on her. I do think that Sona's pretty good right now in general, but like the biggest issue is like why I stopped playing Soraka and Janna and things like that. I like playing those champions; they're fun. It's just that a lot of times like you need to engage on your team.
Let's dance.
Because like very few other roles are running engage right now with tanks and things like that. Sona's getting, yeah, a small nerf, but that's because she got a pretty large buff. I did play her a couple of times off stream. And she feels pretty good as long as you have engage. Like what happened in one game was we didn't really have any engage and we were all just like walking around, you know, for 10 minutes just posturing, like praying that our Lux would hit a Q. And then, you know, they ended up hitting one of their skill shots and engaged on us and killed us. So, I don't know, I just don't like leaving it to chance. Like, I like to be the one doing the engage right now. If Sejuani comes back into the meta, then, you know, I might play more Janna and Sona and things like that. What are we? We're against Karma. Okay, we gotta go double magic resist for that, because Karma is pretty obnoxious. But yeah, right now, I don't know. You know, it's probable that I'm a little too, like, reliant on Rakan, but... I mean, a week and a half ago, I was literally the number 8 Rakan in NA. At one point. I've fallen off a lot since then. Now, part of that's because a lot of pro players, like in Challenger, are not playing him right now. Yeah, I know, like, I know the Leona thing, but you play Sona, you're griefing. I don't know if it's that extreme. Sona's, like, pretty good. I think Sona, isn't she the highest win rate right now? It's hard because she, no, she's not. I thought she was for a wait, it's not organized by win rate. Okay. Yeah, she is the highest win rate right now. But it's rough into Leona. I think Nautilus is a little more tame. Like, Nautilus is still really good, but those nerfs on Nautilus actually did a little damage to it. What were the nerfs? Oh, it was his hook. His hook does less damage.
Oh yeah. Destroy hope. Bring the second coming of darkness.
They did that. Was that last patch? So that did some stuff. The 420 patch, baby.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
420 patch was quite a while ago. I'm sure. I wasn't streaming at the time, or I would have made some kind of meme about it.
I choose fun.
And this is 10-2 right now. It's gonna be 10-3 in 2 days. I mean, she's good. She's just really high risk, man. I'm a very risk-averse person in general.
Life is way more fun when you give up the rules.
Like, I do stuff. Sometimes it's risky, but I'm old, man. Look, I ain't got that 18-year-old swag anymore. Cashed in my scratch-offs for a
The universe tends towards chaos.
certified deposit.
Helping it along.
No, I'm not that safe. But I'm definitely more of a let's invest in a Fortune 500 company instead of you know, like an IPO for a biotech or something like that. Yeah, come on, Jarvan. What? Okay, whatever. Sure don't fit.
I only believe in myself.
I don't know. Karma, I feel like Karma's really close to being viable. I do like Karma a lot. But the literal, like, red to gank. Level 2 gank off of Lee. He only has 4 CS. That's pretty troll. But, I mean, Cho'Gath's kind of asking for it. Playing a tank in 2019. I'm not wasting a hit on that. I guess, I don't know. It's greedy not to hit that, but it does slow down my wards if I hit ranged. Okay, she used her Q. I need to ping when I'm gonna go or something, because, I don't know, Kai'Sa keeps burning her Q. We not gonna fight for this? Guess not. Lee's gonna be there. Like, 100% Lee's gonna be there. They can be doing Dragon. What are they? I'm really, like, sketched about this. They gotta be helping him with Scuttle or something, because...
I'm gonna go stare in the mirror. It's daily affirmation.
Really? Where did they go? Did someone go AFK? We getting baited? Like, it doesn't take that long to do Scuttle. Did they seriously just back and get, like, a longsword or something? She didn't have enough for tier. What's going on? What did they just do? Okay, there was Lee. That was bizarre. They didn't buy anything.
It's not that
To be fair, they didn't miss that much CS.
It's the light
They
side
lost
of it.
pressure, though, and let us get it back, so now we've got momentum on them. If we can force a fight with extra longswords. Misfortune's really fast,
Ally
too.
has been slain.
Did I say... Did I not say 2020? Did I say 2019? My bad. I thought I said 2020. It's totally possible I say anything this time of night. Yeah, we need to pressure. Don't let them back. I mean, they're gonna back. But we gotta make them miss some stuff here for that random roam. Yeah, I guess they just helped him with Scuttle. They weren't waiting in that bush.
More dark matter?
I'm trying to miss less experience. That's one of my goals, is to, like, before I get Mobies, I gotta, well, Jarvan's top side, or else we could have, maybe pressured for Dragon. No, Lee's hanging out. He's only level 3. What? He's been doing nothing but farming.
Then I am
See, he's gonna be on these Raptors. Dude, he's on the Raptors, bro. Like, if he dies to that, I'm gonna be sad. Okay, he got out. I didn't see which way he went, though. I assume he went back down south, so he's probably gonna flank us here in a second. Okay, good. We got the teleport out of Kled. Okay. Jarvan's getting a little bit of a farm advantage. He probably took the Raptors, though. No, he didn't. He's just literally running around in circles trying to gank. Not even countering our jungle. Karma's basically given us a free lane. I don't even think she's thrown a Q at us yet.
living the dream. The dream.
I didn't see him leave. He could have just backed in the bush. He has to. There's no way he's still sitting there. Right? He has to have backed. How was Diana soloing Vlad this time? Like this time of the game.
Most good guys.
It's good to make a couple of what? It's good to make a couple of ventures too, just so that you can like realistically. What, Jarvan, dude? Like, come get the flash or something, man. Okay, thank you. Understand. Okay, well, we got flashes. We could have probably just like pushed and made a play on Dragon or something. I don't know. They could freeze here, but they're probably just gonna push. I think that's not a good way to think about it. I mean, I guess it's okay to think of lane counters, but you really need to think also about what your team needs. I do have an entire video called like counter matchups that you can check out if you want to. But like bot lane is not as much about countering as like maybe top lane or mid lane. There's 2v2. Like, I could pick, like, Tom Kench hard counters Leona, for example, and Nautilus, but he's not really, like, great in the meta overall. Because he doesn't team fight very well in solo queue. Same thing, it's a very similar thing with, like, Morgana. So, and like your team really needs to engage also, you know, like Zyra can also counter those champs, but then it just kind of depends on if your team has like a mid-game team comp or a late-game team comp. Damn, I didn't need to take that. We gotta get out of here, but Kled might run us down. Okay, he missed. Our mid laner is just getting blown out, though.
Thanks, Riku.
But I mean, yeah, like I said, I do have a video on that on the channel. We've had such weird backs. I guess we're just priced into getting Shurelya's early on. But yeah, just check out that video. I think, I mean, it's a lot of the stuff's looking pretty good. I don't have any armor though, which is kind of like not good. I could rush Redemption against Diana, I guess. I don't know. I feel like Shurelya's is probably better. Like Shurelya's with Vlad can be really good. Yeah, I think we might be getting ganked here.
Life sucks without sex, but it is less complicated.
Can we kill her? Dude, this fucking Diana, I swear to God. How is Vlad not up like 50 CS? It took the Lee and the Diana camping down here to bail them out. Like, it's so frustrating. I know it's a part of the game, but it's like, Jesus Christ, like... You don't even have to follow Vlad, but like, do something. Like, you have to be up in CS. How is every lane losing when Lee just like sits bottom 24/7? And middle has been down here like 3 times. Without teleport, like literally just walking down. Like no problem. I can't get deep rewards than that. Or if Jarvan was there, just imagine for a second if Jarvan was actually on this side of the map at some point. I guess he came down and got to the sums like early. Okay, maybe we can get this tower here. Diana's here? Wait, is she back or something? Please, Vlad. I'm about to lose my mind. He literally like auto-attacked, which that animation slowed him down to where he wasn't going to be in Q range anymore. Where he's in powered Q. He's super spooky right now. She is. Oh, he took Comet? Oh my god, that's disgusting. No, they do not take Comet. Absolutely not. Typically Phase Rush. Possibly, maybe Electrocute, but I think like 99% of the time it's Phase Rush.
It's daily animation.
Once again, this is kind of a little bit of a weird build because we just had so many early backs because of the weird like lane timing that we just ended up with a couple of fairy charms. So I just wanted to do something profitable with those. Which really is not terrible. I do see some top end Rakan's rushing that item. I mean, it has health and it has a really good active to help you get catches. Why is Kled here? I guess top lane's down. Okay, we're just so weak. I'm still like, I don't know how we lost that. Like, I knocked up the Diana, ignited her. Like, Jarvan dunked her. I don't get it. We just don't do any damage. I guess. I mean, she's got her rod. Did he not ult? I thought it looked like he just ulted. Did he not ult in that fight, or was it not up? I don't know. Something seemed weird. It seemed like we should have been able to win that, but I guess, I mean, Vlad clearly doesn't know how to play that champion. And we're just really far behind, so maybe I should have just tried to run. I tried to run after I hard. Is he just dead again?
When Zaya and I were abandoned, I don't like being alone. Oh, and spiky space squids are the worst.
He's just standing there. I mean, I know that's not actually him, but that's like his death animation. He just, that's gotta be some kind of glitch. It's weird. I thought usually he's like a pool of blood or something. Yeah, so we have to try to, like, find people to kill other... Wait, how did Kaisa get 4 kills? What? When did that happen? I guess she's just getting all these weird cleanup kills. What is he getting? What's Cho buying? Those 2 items don't build in anything, do they? Lost Chapter Glacial? Oh my god. 3 people, we can't kill her? Oh, might as well pack this one up. Barely scratched her. She just sat through, like... Didn't Miss Fortune just channel her whole ult on her? We're currently plat 4 Night Court. I'm not gonna make it to 20 minutes. If you want to surrender and it's past 15, you really gotta like wait to start the vote until like 19 minutes. Because you're not going to be able to get the surrender off at 20. Now we have to wait another 5 minutes. I don't see how we come back. I mean, we had 3 people. Vlad doesn't know what's going on. We had 3 people on the Diana. She's not going to die. Cho seems like he has no clue what's going on. He's getting pieces for different items, which is almost always a terrible idea. Unless you're like a Tiamat champion that has to get Tiamat early to wave clear, like you really shouldn't be getting multiple components that don't like build into the same item. Most of the time. Like maybe there's a couple of fringe cases, but because completed items in League of Legends are so valuable. Like it's really the actives and the passives that give most items the majority of their power. And so if you just have components and you don't complete them, then you're losing like a lot of power. Okay. Misfortune hit the... What? I mean, we're gonna lose anyways, but like, Kaisa auto-attacked the Misfortune like 4 times. In plain sight. Without the Misfortune hitting her back once. What? Alright, you're sleepy. Good to hear, buddy. I mean, it's close. I don't think the buff's gonna make a huge difference either way. But I don't think it's like dire, you know, like, oh my god, like jungle's unplayable, you know. Everyone just always kind of overdoes everything, but I mean that's what sells. Donation coaching session. Wait, which? Oh, the Nami game. Okay. Did we do that Nami game last night on stream? I remember asking about it. I don't remember whose we did. Okay, we can take a look at it and see. I mean, our first game, or one of those games was fine. Our first 1 or 2 games were okay. I think we won the first game. I think we've won 2 games, haven't we, tonight? Are we 2-1 or just like 1-1? We 1-2? I think we're 1-1. So it's like, it's okay. I think, what was this game? Oh, no. Yeah, that one was rough. Okay, so we are 1-2. Yeah, that one was kind of rough. That one was kind of rough. But we had a decent game after that. Okay. Well, let me look at it and see here. So we'll do this this coaching session. So my bad if we overlooked that for so long. See, I see the DM, the Dagon, ML Bounds. Wait, did you donate for this one? Oh, there it is. Yeah. So okay, so you donated. Dagon donated, then Fane, then DM. I thought I got it. Maybe I did. Okay, sorry if we overlooked it. I thought that I got everybody that night, because I remember there were a lot of donations that night for coaching. I mean, whatever. I can't remember. I don't think I have it labeled on the screen. Let me back it up. I'll have no okay. Alright, so we'll do this one coaching session, then we'll get back on the ranks train here. I need to just start posting up like 2 coaching sessions a day. I keep forgetting to post some of those up. Just whenever I'm about to get caught up, we get a ton more, which is awesome, but I need to keep up with posting them on the playlist. So I'm pretty sure we have like 220 or something, and I'm on like 207. So I can start the video. Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm the Strategy Professor. Today we're doing a coaching session. If you start, I don't know, it's a really dangerous phase. Yeah, you gotta have something faster than that, though. It's either gotta be both W and your bubble are good. And if you're gonna invade like that, you gotta be ready for someone to be in that bush, you know? It's gotta be like, boom, you see somebody bubble. Because that took like 5 seconds to bubble and you didn't ignite anybody. So yeah, you gotta be ready to go. You know, you can't really be surprised if you're going in like that. But anyways, okay. So this is patch 10.2, so special thanks to Fane for donating for this. It's going to be a Nami support video. If you'd like a coaching video yourself, just email me at strategyprofessor@gmail.com. Happy to set that up for you. We just do it right on stream. We're doing it live right now on stream, so you might hear me, you know, chatting with the stream as well. And we stream every night starting around like 10 or 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, going till about 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Occasionally we might start a bit later than that, but that's usually what we try to aim for. You can always follow me on Twitter at @TheStratProf. I don't tweet a bunch of just random garbage. I pretty much only tweet when I'm about to start streaming. I just say, hey, I'm going to start streaming. If you just want a little extra way to get an announcement. Then, of course, if you sub and hit the bell on YouTube, it'll also tell you when we're streaming. And we do have a Discord as well, Strategy Professor Discord that you can join, and that also has a bot that announces when we're streaming. Okay. Did they... Okay. Lulu did get 2 kills, but she spent it on Fairy Charms, so she does not have a huge advantage over you early. Obviously a bit, but at least she didn't get an ammo. She got boots, a couple of Fairy Charms, so I would try to be going up and just like, you need to try to cover for your 80 carry. So preferably you hit the, actually, you know, I think hitting Lulu might be the right choice because Aphelios can just heal up with his, that gun right there, the scythe gun. Yeah, just go up and hit her. Like, you want her to use her mana on you and not your 80 carry, and also your W is pretty weak. It's just a standalone heal early on. Like, you really need to get bounces to get value out of it. So you want to be going up and just like auto attacking and like trading with your W. Don't, like, you do not want to let the Lulu zone your 80 carry like this. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, bubble at night. Perfect. Okay, great. So that did work out really well, but I think just kind of earlier on, I would have been like up in her face, like trying to trade. Because she doesn't have a heal early. She has a shield, but she has to choose whether to use that shield offensively. Okay, got the flash. She has to choose whether to use that. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, it's rough. But she has to choose whether to use that shield offensively or defensively. So if she uses the shield offensively on you, then like you're gonna take damage, but then you hit her with your W and you heal yourself with the same spell. So Nami's typically a really good matchup early on into Lulu. Although, I mean, she did have Fairy Charms, but if she's like coming up trying to shield herself and then Q you, like she might win the trades a little bit early on, but they changed that year in Enazak. I'm like 99% sure they either changed it last patch or they are changing it this patch. To where if Senna gets a relic proc like that, then it counts as her getting the kill as far as like her soul goes, and you get the really low chance on it. I remember seeing them changing that somewhere. So it was a good idea for a while, but they've either already changed it or they're going to change it in 2 days. Senna's mad, man. Playing like she's mad. Ooh. Okay. Not again, Senna. Not again. Okay. Do they have a jungler? Like, what's going on? Okay, you guys should go for Dragon. ADC's back. Yeah. Any wards? Yeah, you gotta control ward. Yeah, I would have control warded something. Probably here or here. How did he even sneak into that pit? Okay, so they have that warded, basically. Did they have it warded? I guess, yeah, maybe you should have just warded the pit. It's really weird for them to have that. I gotta know if that's warded. Let me see. How does he know? Oh, he swept it. Okay. So once you see that sweep, y'all gotta pull this out of the pit. I'm about to say, it would be extremely rare. Yeah, so you gotta pull it out of the pit. You gotta just ping this like a lot. What elo are we watching? I think this is matched at high gold, low platinum. I mean, the Heimer was important, but like, you should have, like, once you get swept like that, you have to either stop or you have to pull it out of the pit so that he can't immediately jump in and start attacking either the dragon or your jungler. Would have been nice if Senna was there. Would have been handy if she rotated for the dragon, but I still think it was okay to go for it. It's really bizarre that he was on your side of the jungle at that moment, and just happened to hit the sweeper right when y'all are doing it. Okay. Nice. Now, Lucian could come roaming down here. How does Lucian... Yeah, well, there he is. How does Lucian lose to... Or, like, Teemo lose to Lucian? I mean, I don't know. I guess if he's really slow on his darts. Not really sure. Maybe Kha'Zix camped him a lot. Either way, I guess it is what it is. Okay, Kha'Zix, no, you need to run. Maybe, did you not see him? I saw him on the scuttle. Got a themes? I would go for Spell Thief. Right, Nami's such a mana hog, and you're gonna be getting Athenes anyways, and so it gives you 10 extra AP on Athenes as well, because the 50% mana regen converts over to AP. I think it gives you up to 100% mana regen too once you complete the Frostfang, which is 20 more AP, which is 400 gold value once that completes. So I think if you're gonna get Athenes, you're kind of priced into getting Frostfang, especially after the nerfs to Relic a couple of patches ago. Kind of sad too. They basically said they're gonna nerf Soraka because she's getting played top lane. They do not want any supports playing anywhere but support, basically. And a lot of it's because their items are just too cheap. So I hope they don't nerf the items. They just nerf some of the champs that get played outside of it. But it's pretty much how it goes. One of those team, please. I have a moment. Soraka top, it depends on what you mean by meta.
Rampage. Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
It's being played in pro some. Has a high win rate, but a low play rate. So, like when I'm thinking meta, I'm thinking popular and powerful. If it's just like an obscure champion that has a high win rate,
Blue
like,
team's turret has been destroyed.
you know, you could say Taric middle is meta. It's like, not really, he played with one comp. Like, he's played with Master Yi basically as a funnel comp. So I wouldn't call her meta yet, but
Red team's turret.
she has the potential to become more popular if she gets more publicity from pro play. But just the fact that she's a support champ, a lot of people just aren't going to play her anyways. People want to play those, you know, 1v9, pentakill type of champs in solo lanes. She's a rule breaker, which is why, you know, right now with her current like iteration, that's why they're banning her. Like anyone that uses, or not banning her, but like nerfing her. The problem with playing supports in other roles is that their items are really cheap. They do not want like solo laners to be able to rush items. Like Proto Belt is as low as it goes with what they think is acceptable with a 2,500 gold item. If solo lanes can comfortably start building like Athenes or Ardent Sensor, Redemption, you know, like these items that are like 2,300 or less gold, and they don't want that because it cheats the power curve and creates really weird lopsided timings in pro. I mean, that's basically why Ivern got nerfed a hell of a lot back in the days, because he bought all those items. That's big reason why like top Karma got nerfed a lot, why Lulu's nerfed a lot a long time ago, like mid lane Lulu. So the biggest offender of this over time has probably been Karma, like solo lane Karma, because she's been good in several different metas. But yeah, they don't want that. Because like the whole point of having those items for like supports for enchanters is that they can actually buy items and do things on a budget because they get less gold. So it's like on time for a Soraka, you know, to complete like a normal support Soraka to complete a redemption by the time the enemy AD carry has an Infinity Edge or something like that. Like that's okay. But like if you're top lane Soraka, you know, completing your Athenes plus Ardent Sensor by the time your counterpart only has Trinity Force is not okay in their mind.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
It's not as good. It's still like okay in solo queue, but it's extremely susceptible to ganks early on. But in pro play, they can play around that. Okay, let me see what's going on down here. Got a little sidetracked. I think most of your rotations, it looked pretty good. I mean, this is just one of those games where it's like you know, the jungler is just like hard camping bottom, and there's not like, you can't roam a ton as Nami early on. Like you can, but if Kha'Zix catches you out, he's gonna blow you up. Almost. Gotta hit him with that slow first. I think you gotta E yourself, and then hit him with the slow, and then when he jumps, then you aim your wave. It is hard to hit that wave though. Yeah, that's why, and that's also why, like, a big part of why supports tend to, like, enchanters almost always tend to have high win rates in solo queue is because, like, their items are so cheap and so, like, insanely cost efficient. You would see them in pro more, but, like, it's complicated. Basically, right now, you need hard engage most of the time in pro. I guess Braum and Tom are kind of exceptions to that, but it gets really complicated. But basically, you know, the big takeaway is enchanter items are designed and balanced around supports who don't have a good gold income. That's why they get very efficient items. And typically, you can afford to do that because people don't play supports outside of support. Versus, like, tanks can't have... Typically, it's hard for tanks to have really good, efficient items. Because, like, tank supports. Because the solo laners or junglers will abuse it. So that's why they had to nerf Locket so many times. They had to nerf Knight's Vow so many times. Because there were, like, tank top laners and tank junglers buying those items. Consistently. And it was too strong. There's just not a lot else you can do. Like, they chased, like, the Senna didn't even notice there was a Kha'Zix on her until she was dead. I mean, Kha'Zix is just kind of taking over this game. You do have decent wards. He's just, like, getting around the wards. There he is. I mean, Senna should see him right there. She just literally is not paying attention to her screen. And Nami's flashing after that. Or, Ari is. There's not a ton. Yeah, you just gotta let this go. Yeah, so they're nerfing the Soraka. People have been running Sona top, I think, a little bit too. They are nerfing Sona. I'm afraid they're going to get Spell Thieves nerfed again. But somehow, the way that it is, I haven't done the exact math on it, but like these solo lane support type of champs can actually run Spell Thieves and like get around the penalty. And they definitely don't like that. They do not want other champs getting the support gold item, because then you get a bunch of wards, and like Riot really, really hates vision in pro play. So they think it stagnates the game. People play too safely. Like, they don't want 40-minute games. They're already getting like 40-minute games in the LCS, 50-minute games, and tanks aren't even in the meta. And like vision is very scarce. Like, if you gave people tanks and vision, you'd have like 2-hour games. So they do not like seeing that. Like top lane Sona running Frostfang. It happens, Sammy. It's all right, buddy. You gotta get back in that league state of mind. You're gonna get in solo queue, man. It is definitely a test of patience, if nothing else. Well, hey, you know, maybe, you know, if you think you can do better at a different role while you're climbing up, possible. I mean, if I was trying to level up a Smurf as fast as possible on a new account, I probably would not play support in bronze either. But if you're actually in bronze, you know, for people that are in bronze, they're just playing, I think support's a perfectly viable role to climb on. It's just if you're smurfing, it's different. Because in theory, you should be able to outplay everyone so hard that you have to, you know, kind of take responsibility for that and play something with a higher gold contribution. Potentially. I mean, you could smurf and still do very well. If you were going to smurf, you know, you'd want to play something like Brand or Pike or Zyra. Yeah, I wouldn't do that one right there. You don't want to flank as Nami. Pretty much ever. Because, especially against things like Kha'Zix. Stuff that can outflank you. You know, like maybe right here you could try to throw a wave and see what you get. But yeah, you really don't want to flank. I mean, yeah, it's kind of, you know, they do TP on you. That's kind of a surprise. But it's a really high probability that you're going to get cut off. And it's so difficult for them to dive Heimer with all those turrets. Yeah, so that's something to work on. In general, just don't play with her. These guys really hate that Heimerdinger. Yeah, and the thing is, like, Sona, probably Soraka too, can get that charged up. Does the penalty fall off at the tier? I think it falls off at tier 2, right? When you get it upgraded once, there's no penalty. What? You can't clear that, dude. You just saw the Kha'Zix. Maybe I'll turn this in. Okay, you managed to turn it around. He was just baiting. He knew what he was doing. He was baiting. He's limit testing. I swear, I talk about this. I've said it in several videos. If you just drop a pink somewhere, people will clear it. I need to do that more often. I call it the oops pink ward. Old school tactic I use, but just like throw a pink ward like outside of a bush or something on accident, like you barely missed the bush, and then just sit in the bush. Someone will come clear it, I'll guarantee you. People just can't help it. They see pink wards, they're like, I must clear. You know? You don't see him even in pro anymore. Like, the only time that Shin was really like everywhere all the time, and so he had lots of opportunities to use his ult to make plays. Like, he's close, he just needs a lower cooldown on his ult, and he's not gonna get it. I think for him to be more support viable. Hey, maybe you are, Sammy. You know, play whatever you want to win. I do think that the Sona and Brand are pretty good. I mean, might even as much as like I sort of meme on the AP Sona. Like, if you're kind of smurfing in bronze or whatever, maybe going to AP. Good. I feel like you really need to do a lot of damage. I feel like her heal's not even really the issue. I don't know what it is about Senna. To make support more viable, they need to give her better AP ratios. Because I think support Senna's like... It's not terrible, but it's not insane either. Once again, I would not be playing with Nami, especially against Kha'Zix. Like, I think you're just going to find yourself in some bad situations very often. This is why, like, Nami's good, but she's just, like, in these kind of skirmishes, especially if you don't have... I mean, the set can engage, I suppose, but... And the Ahri can. But yeah, it's hard for you to make plays as Nami, like pure offensive, hard engage plays. You just kind of got to play around your teammates and hope that they do something smart eventually, and then you can like complement that. But just chucking the wave like max range or or flanking are just not really great options. I mean, maybe, yeah, maybe they could remove. I mean, that might work here in Osaka. Maybe you're right. Just say, look, if you want to heal, we're going to give you a better AP ratio on your heal, but we're going to either lower or take off the AD ratio. I could see that, yeah. Maybe that could work. Maybe that'd be kind of like a two-fold buff support and nerve ADC. I feel like a lot of it is her range and her free crit. So maybe nerf her range instead of, does she get 75 every so often? Or is it 25? I can't remember. Maybe it's 75 sounds like a lot. Is it 25 range per 20 souls? I mean, they could just increase the number of souls that she requires or whatever her thing, whatever it's called. Maybe they can make it 25 to get an upgrade instead of 20. Make her scale longer. Like, a lot of it is that she's a cheap item abuser also. I mean, so much of it in Pro especially comes down to item efficiency and cost, and the fact that she can get mana immune. She can still be really oppressive in lane because of her range. And the fact that her Q applies on hit, that's another thing that's like, the fact that she can AoE apply the mana immune proc. And, like, apply it to waves. They could start just ticking away some things, like maybe her Q doesn't apply on hits, or maybe it doesn't like damage turrets or something like that. They could continue to just like chip away at her, give her kind of the Akali treatment. Oh, you guys want to play the Baron fight back? Okay. I think that was just Set running over everybody because he's really OP. But we can look at it again here. Okay, Heimer's pressing bottom.
Blue team triple kill.
Yeah, we can look at it. I mean, I don't even think Nami's in that play, right? I mean, maybe you show up at the end. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I think it's literally just like they step on a Teemo shroom and Set just like runs in and just deletes everybody. Okay, no, Nami does show up. Okay. I mean, yeah. Pretty much. Like, Nami wave hits, and then Set just runs in and tackles everyone, and that's it. I mean, that was good. Good rotation. Heimer's gonna get... Right. Oh, that's a cool little... I haven't seen that with the flowers and stuff with the BMO coming up. That is kind of cute. I wish they would make Teemo more viable. Like, they were messing with him last year for like 3 or 4 months, and then out of nowhere, I remember someone arguing with me about Set for like 30 minutes or 45 minutes when I was complaining about him being like too strong. Like, no, there's all this counterplay to him. He's not good at all. It's like, bro, he's got like a 20% play rate and a 57% win rate or something. Like, I don't know. He's better than I thought he would be on release. I think you just kind of have to like play against him a couple of times. You're like, huh, I just got hit with 500 true damage off of one item on a basic ability that also gave him a 500 shield. Seems interesting. It's weird. It's almost like it's very hard to balance true damage. I don't know. Alright, it's only had 9 years to try to figure this out. So like, what are 2 of the most OP things in League of Legends? Shields and true damage. What? It's like, let's put them on one ability. Maybe if we put them on one ability, they won't be too good. Yeah, I think you were probably dead anyways. I mean, maybe, like, you did flash, but he gets that obnoxious slow on you off of Dustblade, and then his W, I think, applies a pretty hard slow, too. I think usually Kha'Zix upgrades the W second, I believe. So he gets the, like, the super slow and the 3 spikes.
Turret has been destroyed.
Me too, Parker. I was just like, what? I was so mad because I was like a Rakan. I was building Frozen Heart first too. I had like a Glacial Shroud with like 2 cloth armors, I think. I may have even had Ninja Tabby. I had like 120 armor. He literally came in. I don't even remember if he had a full item. He might have had Cleaver. But I feel like it was just like Tiamat plus Phage, you know, and he just like popped me for like 500 true damage. And I had 900 HP. I was like, what? I was like level 6 or something. I don't remember. And then, you know, the guy in chat was like, well, you just gotta dodge the true damage. It's got all kinds of counterplay to it. And then, like, 2 minutes later, there's a sequence where I engaged on him. It was 1v3. He had, I'm pretty sure this time he had Tiamat in the full cleaver. Engaged on him. E'd back out, got away from him, sidestepped the true damage. He still hit me for like 300 physical damage, and then tackled me into a wall and punched me, and I died. Basically, almost instantly. With over 120 armor. I was like, oh, okay. Cool, cool. But I mean, people are well aware of this. He's gonna get nerfed. I think they've got some nerf on him next patch, but it's not as Alright, what do you... Mikhail's for the polymorph, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, Ardent Sensor's not that great. I agree with not getting that with Senna. Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good itemization-wise. Okay, Kha'Zix is top. Okay, so Oscar asks in chat, what makes Leona way better than Alistar? Alistar is just outdated. Like, basically, Alistar's thing used to be he was one of the only major tanks that had a heal in lane. He healed himself and his allies and his minions, which is clutch. I mean, I guess, but the thing is they're under towers. I don't know if I would use that many resources, but y'all can just step back. I would just leave. Y'all are missing too many ults. I wouldn't fight this. You don't have your ult, you don't have Senna's ult, you don't have Ahri's ult. Just reset. There's no other objectives on the map. Just chill for a minute. Yeah, what Alistar used to do is he was one of the only, like, tanks that had that kind of heal in lane. It used to proc off of every so many, or he used to just be able to press E and do it. And then every time like minions died, his E went down and cooled down a little bit. And he got this passive called Trample, which did extra damage to minions around you. So basically he was like the ultra like push and heal type of support, and you really couldn't poke him out of lane. And it was very difficult to engage on him because he could knock people back with his W, and then also, of course, he has his combo and his Q. So he was like the ultimate, the old school, like push and roam support. You could push really easily, and then like get your Moby Boots and go like roam somewhere and make plays. Also, he was the old school tower diving support because his ultimate, you know, used to reduce the damage from all sources, including towers, by 70% for like 8 seconds or something. And it gave him a hell of a lot of like 70 extra AD or something like that. Okay, nice. Oh, good. That was a great tackle. So there's that. So he was one of the best tower diving supports, he was one of the best pushing supports, and he was one of the best roaming supports for years and years and years. So like what's happened since then is they have like buffed up the defenses of most of the other supports, mostly through Aftershock. Basically everyone has a little mini Alistar ult with Aftershock now. Anyone can die. Okay, wow, y'all just went off of that. Okay. I mean, they just like, you guys just won an ARAM like at the end. I mean, it basically just came down to like sets just really OP, pretty much. But I think, okay, so the biggest things, definitely the biggest thing to take away is try not to flank with Nami. It doesn't work out very well, like 99% of the time. Just, you got to try to play it straight, you know, play near other people, and just use your slows to kind of help accent people. I mean, basically, you know, it was mostly set at the Baron, but your wave did definitely chip in a lot, and your heal chipped in quite a bit. And that's just kind of what you want to do, is sort of hang out backline and just, you know, debuff people. Or buff your allies so they debuff the enemy with the slows. So yeah, that's one thing. I think that early on, you know, like I said, I would probably get Frostfang. Just because, like, she is a mana hog, and I would be a lot more aggressive, too, with Nami. She's got a point-click W, so you can just walk up through the minion wave every time the ADC wants to last hit. You just pop them with the W, or the Lulu, you just hit her, and just keep trading with them over and over again. And having that mana regen early is a big deal. And since you're going to rush Athenes anyways, like I said, the extra early 50% mana regen converts over to 10 extra AP on the Athenes. So you get an extra, like, 220 gold value there. So if you're going to get Athenes, you really want to get Frostfang early on instead of Relic Shield, especially after the nerf to Relic Shield in the preseason where it gets like 15 less AP later on. Because Nami does scale pretty well. If you're getting maximum bounces in fights, which you will, then the AP is actually pretty good on her because her W not only has ratios like on the heal and the damage itself, but also the more AP that you have, the less reduction there is per wave, per bounce. So it's almost like double scaling on her W. Itemization overall looks pretty good, though. Yeah, rushing Athenes and then Redemption's a good combo. You know, the 150% extra base mana regen turns into 30 extra AP. So that's really solid. And then, yeah, probably just Mikhail's. If you had another ADC, maybe Ardent Sensor, but obviously Senna's terrible at that, so I like the Mikhail's there. And then just look for the polymorph cleanses. Yeah, overall, you know, I think it was solid. What else? I mean, there wasn't much you could do in the early game. It was just, the game was kind of outside of your control. You're just getting hard camped. You did a good job surviving. You didn't die a lot in the early game. It was hard to get the vision control because that Kha'Zix. You said someone on their team was Diamond or former Diamond or something like that. But the Kha'Zix would be who I would guess, because he did a good job of sort of dictating the early game, although getting Mortal Reminder's a little weird. Okay. But anyways, hopefully that gives you some tips there. Sorry, I know Fane's not going to mind, probably, in the chat, but, you know, for people watching, I don't always go off on so many, like, random tangents with the chat when I'm doing a coaching session, but occasionally I do. But I know, or at least I feel like Fane probably wouldn't mind that much, as long as we are giving him some good advice here too. But anyways, that's going to be it for the coaching session. The stream's going to continue, so thank you very much. Anyone else that'd like a coaching session, just email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. Let me know what you have in mind. Remember, it's just $25 if you're not a member, $20 if you are a member. You can either be a member through the YouTube join button, through the PayPal link in the description, or through like a Twitch sub. Although we don't stream on Twitch anymore, I do have an account there, and if you just want to support the channel with like a Prime sub or something, then you can do that, and I'll give you the discount for it. But anyways, okay, that's going to be it. Thank you very much. Have a good day, and we'll see you next time. Okay, so stream's going to continue. Yeah, but back to the Alistar thing. So it's a combination of, they took Alistar's identity away, like what was unique about him, both through nerfing his heal nerfing his ult, damage reduction, although they gave him some of that back. And they just introduced other like mechanics in the game and runes like Aftershock. Oh, I forgot to close this out. Hopefully that didn't mess it up. Let me just relog just in case it did. So like Aftershock basically gives everyone his ult. Like they buffed Leona a ton. They buffed her W specifically was what brought her into the meta to where she takes like, it's like 50%, or no, it's like a flat reduction of a certain amount on her W, which doesn't seem like a lot. It's like 20 damage reduced or something, or 15 damage reduced. But early on, that includes minion damage. That should be a nerf they should do to Leona, is say that her W no longer reduces minion damage. Like the flat damage reduction does not apply to minion damage. Because right now she can go in like early on and just not even care about the minion wave at all and just be basically unkillable. Because like minions do less damage, auto attacks do far less damage. Like rune type of stuff does less damage, like airy, press the attack, stuff like that does a lot less damage. Scorch. So she gets a lot of value out of that, specifically with Leona. And then they nerfed her Q to where, or they buffed her Q to where it's always a 5-second cooldown. It used to go like 9 or something, scaling down to 5. And then they buffed her E to where you can get that down to a 6-second cooldown. So basically, she just has way more CC than Alistar. It's on a far lower cooldown, and she still is basically unkillable with her W and Aftershock up, which used to be Alistar's thing. She doesn't push as well, and she doesn't heal as well as Alistar used to, but neither does he. So that's kind of the story of Alistar's fall from grace, is he used to be the unique sort of hard push, sustain, roam support, and he just doesn't have that identity anymore. So his WQ also used to be like a 1.5 second lockdown, and that was so unique and so awesome at the time that you could just like point click WQ and get that. But now like Rakan has that on one ability. Like Rakan's W is a 1-second knockup. Alistar's ability, his WQ is a 1-second knockup. It does a little bit more damage and it has a larger radius than Rakan's does, but it's very similar. But Rakan can do it in one ability, and Alistar it takes 2. And the itemization has changed too. Back in Alistar's heyday, like all of the good support items were tank items. Like it was like Frozen Heart, Locket of the Iron Solari, which used to be called Bulwark of the Legion, and it was way, way better. It's like super OP. And there was no such thing as redemption, or plus healing and shielding as a stat was not introduced until the very end of Season 6. So that was kind of Alistar's reign of terror, was like earlier than Season 6. And he simultaneously got nerfed, I think, in that offseason. So that's kind of the story of Alistar and how he became irrelevant. Pretty much. I mean, it's not like he has a 0% win rate. It's probably negative. It's probably like 48 or something percent. It's not like he's impossible to play, but his kit's just really outdated. He was just too reliable. Like so much of pro play, especially, or high-end play, is just about how reliable are you. You know, how much counterplay is there from the enemy. If there's not much counterplay and it's a strong ability, it's going to be really popular. And the thing is, with the WQ, there was virtually no counterplay to Alistar in his engage, and that's why they nerfed Rakan too. Might dodge this. Jace is, unless this guy's like a one-trick Jace, Jace is like a really, really rough pick. I really, really don't want to go against Kassadin. Like, I've heavily considered banning Kassadin. Like, that champion is so... Like, it just doesn't matter. His team can be 0-20, and then eventually it just takes one team fight where he gets, like, a triple kill, and it's just game over. I don't know why we're seeing him so much more now than we were in the past, but it's certainly Not a good feeling when that happens. No. And Master Yi. They do have that Alistar on their team, but at the end of the day, it's just not going to matter. With that team right there, if he can just ward and they just like don't chain feed in lane, they'll probably just win. It's a shame because the ADC looks pretty good too, but got ourselves a sampler here. That's something you do not want to see. I don't like to see that anyways. Like, just a big chain of ones. That, to me, signals that someone's, like, not really committed to winning. And it's kind of just for fun a lot of times. Not always, but... Doesn't have to be as extreme as, like, one trick. But, you know, I want to see, like, a few champions that have, like, a lot of games. Yeah, we're dodging this. They have just too much threat. If we go late, we just lose. And I just don't trust our team on those champs to be able to close early, because just pretty much the Jhin was the only person with a lot of experience. And it was going to be hard to pressure out Alistar and Senna because they both have heals. Yeah, basically, with Yi and Kassadin, even one of them can, like, hard feed. They just have too many options to win late, and we just don't have enough. Yi is a little more, like, Yi is still really difficult to deal with, but I think he's a little easier to deal with than Kassadin is. Just because, like, you can actually kill Yi if you CC him and knock him up to some extent. Kassadin, like, is difficult to blow up, and he just has so much mobility. Alright, we can look at the rest of this. Second shot no longer crits is a huge deal on Lucian. I didn't realize that was a thing that's going on. That's, like, not really a bug. That's massive. Because he's only supposed to deal 50% damage on his second shot on his crits. So, that's going to be a huge DPS loss for Lucian. Like, massive, massive. It's so funny that some of the biggest things that, like, can completely crush a champion are bug fixes, or just something about, like, how their abilities work. Like, sometimes the numbers are enough, but a lot of times the most brutal stuff is changing how the ability actually works. Like this Akali having to target somebody with the R is probably the biggest nerf that she's getting. The whole same. Yeah. Zyra is pretty good. I've tried Zyra a couple of times the last week or so. But yeah, if you're smurfing, she can be really good. I'm kind of, I don't know. I do like Zyra a lot, but I did play Brand a couple of times last night. And I gotta say, like, I feel like if you go Presence of Mind on Brand, like, he might be a little bit better than I think. Just because he has more uptime on his spells. Like, he's not waiting for the plants. So I don't know. I might have to explore that and reevaluate a little bit more. With, like, just how much extra mana you get with Presence of Mind now. Like, getting 500 mana off of that potentially, and getting 20% mana back means you don't have to get a mana item. Because that was one of the huge things with Brand, is I was just like, Zyra is so much more cost efficient than he is, especially early on. As he runs out of mana, she doesn't. Because her plants are free. But maybe that's changed a little bit. Okay, Rumble's getting nerfed. He's going to be a lot squishier. I don't know. I mean, I guess Rumble has been winning. He does have a high win rate in Pro. 53%. I guess that's fine. Yeah, but Zyra doesn't benefit as much from the mana. Because, like, Brand has fairly low cooldowns, or way lower than Zyra, because Zyra's cooldown is basically her plant cooldown on her W. But if you go for that, then it doesn't really give you much of a DPS increase. I mean, it does, but like you don't get damage plus cooldown reduction on it. Sejuani getting 10% attack speed's a pretty big deal. That might bring her back into the meta. We'll see. Senna. Here. Okay, yeah, so it's not there yet, what Uranenazak was talking about, but this is, they're changing it next patch. Soul drop rate, if she doesn't kill, drop to 20% from 25%, so that's a nerf to support Senna. Then the soul drop rate on cannon minions is lowered to 1.767 from guaranteed. So, I mean, that's a huge deal. That's like basically every minute she's pretty much losing a soul. And then Relic Shield and Steel Shoulder Guards, she still gets the lower drop rate. So that's coming in next patch. That's actually, I mean, that's huge. Because she was guaranteed that drop rate on the cannon, which was a guaranteed like 1 extra soul. And now she's got a, 1% chance, whatever, a 2% chance. So that's actually big. I mean, at this point, just get rid of that part of her passive. Like, if it's so RNG at this point of 1.67%. Like, every minion you kill. It's like, what? Well, you kill 100 minions, you're going to get like 2 souls. On average. What? 10 minutes, 2 souls, baby. I mean, right? Like... Oh, you have to proc it off of people now. That's what it... Because she can... I forgot she can proc it off of people. So you basically have to proc it off of trading with the enemy. Okay, so she can still get them. They just basically doesn't exist for free anymore off of minions. Just, like, take it off of minions, period, at this point. I mean, I guess you'd get, like, have a really low chance, but that's basically, like, saying you have to hit the enemy. So, pretty much, she's going to be losing, like, 15 to 20 stacks. What her average would be by 20 minutes. That's pretty massive. Okay, set. Gets back in queue here. Extra cooldown on the W. That's not the problem, dude. Take off the true damage. I mean, it is 4 more seconds later on, but... Like, it matters, but I just don't think it's enough. Like, 20 damage off and 4 more cooldown. Doesn't affect the shield, doesn't affect the true damage, though. Doesn't affect the scaling, either. Of course, I thought the Garen change didn't matter on the spin to win, and he just, like, completely disappeared out of the meta after that change, so... Maybe it's bigger than I thought. Yeah, true damage is toxic as hell. I think.
I must not fall.
Like, I think percentage health damage. If they're gonna do true damage, the best kind is percentage health true damage. Not flat true damage. Like, you should not be able to hit a squishy target for 500 true damage off of 1 item. Like, the most... If true damage is gonna be fair in League of Legends, I think something like Vayne's true damage is the most fair. It takes time, you can't instantly proc it, it's slowly, it's damage over time, it's designed to break tanks. It does percentage max health, so it does less to squishies. I think some of the most toxic true damage is like Garen's and Cho'Gath's sets. Like the stuff that's like instant, boom, flat amount, I think is the most toxic. Huh. I could try Nami here if we're doing Lucian. Leona's banned. They could Nautilus.
I decide what the tide will bring.
But Cho'Gath is like so weak at so many other things. I mean, I don't know. I just think true damage as champion design is just a bad idea. I think like percentage health damage is better. Dude, you're trolling. Like, why, man? The only reason I picked Nami was because he was hovering Lucian. But yeah, I think max percent health damage is better, and I think you should like force people to buy armor pen, like percentage armor pen, like tank breaking items. I don't think you should just automatically be able to kill tanks with that, like just going normal builds. I think you should have to get extra items, like special items for that. Like people just like almost nobody has to build Last Whisper anymore, and I don't think that's right. Maybe should have dodged this. Is this talent any good? I mean, I'm not for domestic violence, but look, man, you got to win on League of Legends. I mean, I don't like this top matchup. The stats looking here does not look promising, but everything else looks like okay. Oh, it's only 2 games. I was like, he averages 9 deaths? What? Where's my comp? It's bad. Should have picked for Khan. Can't trust anybody. Well, Lulu's good. Like, if you have certain champions to go with those champions, they can be good. I think both of them have problems. I mean, like, Lulu level 6 can maybe deal with, like, Nautilus or Leona a little bit, but... yeah, we really don't have much in the way of engage. We've got, like, at least Cocoon. I mean, I guess Rengar, if he gets ahead, I'm fully expecting Rengar to feed top, though. Like, Rengar top can be okay, but,
To Summoner's Rift.
well, it's always been situational, Kale. It just depends on how many AD champs they're running and, like, what the situation is. So I do build it some, but... we haven't had as many extreme AD comps. Lee, all right.
Swim against the current.
Come on, how does that not see blue buff? Y'all trolling. I'm not gonna get there in time. Please, Sivir. She's missing like every CS. Okay. They did get a kill top. That's important to shut that Riven down. There's no point in even harassing Affiliate. Like, Affiliate's W really shouldn't heal off of minions. Like, that's one of the cardinal sins of champion design, is you can't let something heal significantly and consistently off of minions in the laning phase, because it's just too consistent, like it's too strong. Like, that's what they eventually had to do with Aatrox, that's what they had to do with Akali. Remember when Akali's Q used to actually heal? When you were at full energy? Yes, they're gonna have to take that away eventually. It's just too good. Like, you can't let people have, like, basically free lifesteal off of minions in the laning phase off of a, like, a spammable ability. If they want lifesteal, they can go buy it like everybody else. That's my opinion on it anyways. It's like every champion that's had a pattern of doing that, where they can lifesteal a hell of a lot off of minions, has been nerfed. They nerfed Kai'Sa, Kai'Sa's Q. Now that was kind of weird, because that was targeted as single target. So she'd rush like Death's Dance and heal like her whole life bar off of like 1 Q on a wave. You gotta watch out for Lee. I don't know where he is. His bot side's probably spawning though. Like his Grom's probably back up. Yeah, here he is. Right? They're running up like pretty far. Okay, Xerath's top. We maybe could have turned that around. Yeah, there he is. Really? No way. Alright. I could have made it ignited. Oh my god.
My people are counting on me.
An ally has been slain.
Talon, please.
Slain.
She got the kill on him though. That's not good. We can't get that Riven kills. Okay, I'm coming. It's not necessarily the best ward in the world, but it's a decent defensive ward.
My quest beckons.
Okay, so their blue buff just spawned. Ooh, I don't know about that. I think she should have just last hit those one at a time.
We are all tied to the ocean.
Okay, never mind. They didn't go back. Wait, did they? I guess he already had. I don't remember seeing the TF sword. I guess he already had it. Champion. I thought we were gonna be able to win that a lot harder, but hashtag Aphelios. Okay, they're gonna dive top, which means Lee's almost certainly gonna come down here. Like, their top lane's gonna be furious. They had sent 3 people top. Yeah, here comes Lee. They're gonna try to dive us bot. 100%.
I'll find my path.
Saber should just run with me. I guess they did get Aphelios' flash.
There's always another way.
Your team has destroyed.
Okay, we did get the faster take. They may not even get this tower, honestly, and they can't get Dragon. Can we get Rift? Not bad overall. Would have been cool if, like, Saber had the foresight to run like I did. I should have pinged her, I guess, a little bit more. I didn't know Xerath was coming down, but there's a pretty good chance he's coming down because he didn't go top. So he's got to be somewhere. He's not in mid lane. He's not top. Where is he? You know, he's down here with the Lee. Okay. What can we do? Can we, like... Can we get Rift? Please don't die. Dude, these guys are just, like, ruthless. With this Riven, man.
An enemy has been slain.
Can we get this Rift instead of just killing the Riven? Can we actually get stuff, boys? Because they're going to take that tower bottom, probably.
My quest beckons.
No freaking way! I should have flashed it. I should have not even walked close. I knew he didn't have his ult, because he just used it topside, but I thought I could bubble him. I got a little too overconfident with my bubble.
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Who has Rift? At least does. I might have to go catch this wave, I think. Or maybe we can. Maybe they get greedy and try to dive this.
People and their air.
Maybe unnecessary, but I didn't know the status of her flash, so. Use Rift, bro. Let's see if Lee comes for this. Use Rift. Use Rift. Before we lose the plate. Oh, we already lost the plates. Damn it. She should have come down here and used Rift before the plates expired. It's a lot of extra gold.
There's always another way.
Well, push first. Xerath has a higher chance of clearing. Yeah, we don't get any plates off of it. It feels bad. We get some damage on it, but we could have had, you know, 240 extra gold, plate gold. I think we could have just taken the whole tower if we had 3 bottom with that huge stack that we had. I mean, they're gonna come camp, get this tower, probably. Yeah, it's really, really bad. I don't know why they're doing that. Hello? Okay, well, I guess we got her flash. Got his flash, but like... What? Like, we knew the Senna was middle, right? Or, I mean, I knew. I guess every time I say we knew, I'm assuming that people actually have their map enabled. But that's probably a really big assumption. I mean, the ADC probably should be down a little bit because I've roamed, but at the same time, I mean, she was just missing wide open CS while I was there, so it would have been down 20. Instead, we're down 30, I guess. I don't know. I just don't think we're going to be able to do anything in that lane, given, like, how Sivir was acting. Now, when I roamed top, you know, they could have done all that without me, most likely. I was able to save a wave for the Talon, but I was kind of there as insurance for that play. When they were like diving and trying to get Rift.
Enemy killing spree.
How does she keep dying? Xerath's just lighting her up, I guess. And they're coming for me now. It's obnoxious. Got so much vision around like the whole map that he just hides in a little blind spot. Well, I hope Rengar can carry, because we put all of our eggs in the Rengar basket. At least just camped him mercilessly top, and we just got blasted bot lane. We have had all the dragons, though, so far, so we do have that going for us. So we did camp top mercilessly and get the dragons. So to be fair, that's probably, I mean, it's probably a good decision in the long run. ADC's 2020, but. Wait, Rengar just ulted and used it on the Scuttle Crab? Did I just see that correctly? They have so much range. I mean, it's basically impossible for us to siege that. The Xerath and Senna and Aphelios. Rengar has to flank. And Talon. Like, we're never going to take him in a siege. We got to try to get vision control and get flanks, because... But, like, nobody's warding but me, of course. Dude, are you fucking kidding me? How? I don't know. I don't know about that one. Looks like I was kind of out of that circle on that one.
Enemy has been slain. Shut down. Ace.
It's an ace. It's an ace. It's an ace. Y'all can't Baron, but you can get mid tower.
Quit flopping around.
Okay, well, that ended up a lot better than I thought it would.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
We are all tied to the ocean.
Well, yeah, I know, but even on the XY axis, like, I thought I was out of it, but I guess not.
Sure as the
Sivir really needs to buy. She's rich, dude. Dude. Thank you, Talon. Thank you, sir. And a talent, yeah, an assassin rather that shows a little restraint. What world are we living in? Yeah, this is what we need. We need to get him to rotate. Wow, he didn't. Oh my gosh. Oh god. Can we... I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to get this or not. I just feel like trying to siege Xerath is bad, but did Xerath have to back? No, he's just hanging out. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get anything done there. That could have been really dangerous. I revealed that I was over that wall, and if they, like, Riven could have jumped that wall after me to see if I was backing or something. But... Like, I honest to God don't understand how Talon wins games. It's like every game I see him in, it's the exact same story. It's like, does okay early game, sort of, kind of, like, mid-game, has some opportunities, and then if you don't close out in, like, his little 10-minute window, then you just, like, lose the game. Does Zereth get Proto Belt? No. Does he have Proto Belt? No. He gets the items that he got. It's usually big mana item, and then if you can get it, death cap. If you're a little more poor, I'm not sure what the other option is, but yeah, I mean that's the ideal circumstance. Just leave it, dude. We can't.
There's always another way.
Like, I don't know. It feels like something like Rylai's may not be like completely awful on him, but you're wasting a lot of power on the HP. The slow would be nice, but I think you just want the raw damage. Probably goes Morello. If you're like broke, maybe Morello Nomicon. This is standard double pen items. Yeah, I mean this is kind of what we need to be doing. It's just like pressuring side lanes. And just like trying to get picks because there's no way we beat him in a clean 5v5. Or a siege. The problem is like they're not warding. Talon kind of is. We get Xerath? Okay, nice. We got them all. Okay, this should be inhibitor plus Baron. But she's gonna look to flash, potentially, so we gotta watch out for that.
Has destroyed an inhibitor.
I think we get it fast enough. Rengar's just gonna burn through it. I'm dead, probably. Ugh. Yeah, but she's gonna die too. Okay. That's fine.
Unstoppable.
The Talon right there, I mean, that was like a perfect setup where they were all... Why are we in their base? I'm so confused.
Shut down.
What's going on? Okay. You need to push the lanes up.
People in their air.
Push the lanes up, boys. Don't get raptors. Who cares? Talon, don't int. That's the Talon I know and love. stop doing golems. Get the lane up when you have Baron buff. And there's a major objective. Get the lane up, you fucking idiot. God bless. Come here.
Swim against the current.
I mean, is that, I mean, am I the only person? Am I like 500 IQ League? Like, I feel like 50 IQ League can understand that, right? Like, Like, clear your jungle after you push the lanes up and get the dragon. I mean, I don't know. Either I'm expecting too much. I don't know. Priority, like, people just really, really dramatically misunderstand just how much, like, priority in lanes means. Even without Baron buff, like, that's the correct play. Definitely with Baron buff. We need to be really careful. We do not want to, like, full on fight. I don't know. Maybe I'm too hard on him. But either way, like...
There's always another way.
I mean, if I still had the Baron buff, I could have, like...
Listen.
Why? Like, why?
Your team has destroyed a turret. An enemy has
I mean,
been
he got
slain.
him, but, like, I don't know. We're just getting lucky. Sort of. I feel like we're about to get unlucky, though. Real unlucky. And I'm going to be real sad. Like, trading kills is bad when you're ahead. You should be able to get objectives cleanly. Because when you give them kills, they're getting shutdown gold, and they're relieving map pressure. So, like, they just got more time back for their Baron, basically. No, 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 dude.
The enemy's inhibitor is respawning soon. An enemy has been slain. Kill.
Oh, fortunately, Rengar's just, like, mega fed. We're just kind of, like, just brute forcing our way through this.
I will see my home again.
Alright, I think we got it.
Your team has destroyed a turret. An ally has been slain. Enemy double kill.
No, leave.
An enemy has been slain.
People get baited on, like, the base towers so often. It's like those towers really don't matter that much most of the time. I think this game's more about catching people than buffing up for team fights. I think we have enough damage. Our positioning's terrible. scuttle, dude. Just get the scuttle and wait on people, man. Like, there's no point. Like, there's just risking, like, a Hail Mary. You're not even the jungler.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Okay, the base is just dead. All we had to do is stall. Domination second for Oldie Hunter and Ghost Poro. You can do Revitalize. Like, her heal is not like, she doesn't have that much healing. It's like okay, but it's only one ability that heals, and it's like a lot of times you're only going to get one heal off of it in fights if you hit the enemy first, and then it bounces back to allies. So it's okay. You know, other options, you could do like Cosmic Insight Biscuits or something like that, but yeah, I mean, you really can't leave your base for like hardly any time when all three inhibitors are down. Because that's what'll happen. It just like gets overrun. So many supers. Yeah, I mean, it's 6. Like, when 3 inhibitors are down, there's 2 per wave that come in. And it's, I mean, it's a full-time job to clear them out. Like, it's a team effort. Like, one person, most champions can't clear 6 supers in one go. There might be a couple, but it's like a 4-item Master Yi or something like that. But it takes a big effort, so they basically killed themselves. Like, that's what I was saying. If Rengar just kept trying to steal the Baron by himself, and then, you know, like, Xerath kills him and Lee comes in and sneaks it, and then they go back to their base and start clearing, like, that's a catastrophe. But if we just chill there, just lock out the vision, wait on the team, you know, they have to give us that Baron for free at that point. Or if they come out like that, then their base is going to burn. You just have to be a little patient. Anyways, okay, well, that's got to be it for tonight. We put in just about our 4 hours. I'll see, you know, I should be able to get started earlier, even when I have school the next day. But, maybe I can get started around, like, 11 or something instead of midnight. But, anyways, we'll get back in here tomorrow. I'll try to get started around 10. I need to try to start getting it back down to 10 most nights, if I can. So we'll try to get back in around 10. And I will have patch notes when they release those tomorrow. And I'll see if I can get the support tier list done either tomorrow or Wednesday as fast as I can. But anyways, that's going to be it. Have a good day, and we'll see you next time.